Good morning, everyone. Today is the 19th day of Menachem Av, August 23rd. Oh, the Alter Rebbe sums up today's lesson so perfectly. He says, imagine a genius having to choose one word to describe his wisdom. Should condense all of his wisdom and knowledge into one word. He says, an infinitely greater contraction was required for Hashem to contain himself and articulate, quote unquote, creation by means of the 10 utterances. Let's say you want to take your whole life and say, my whole life in one word. How could you do that? It was even harder for Hashem to create the world by putting it into letters. All these letters we talk about, we throw around the words, hey and yud. Hashem had to do a tremendous contraction. So we learn above that the Zohar teaches. Who makes the holy name every day? Who gives charity to the poor? The relevance of this answer, however, remains obscure. Now, therefore, equipped with this understanding, we go back to the question of, how does giving tzedakah to the poor make a name for Hashem? So Alter Rebbe explains as follows: Hine, b'adam atachtoin, l'mashal, mishu chacham gado, lahaskil neflois chachma. When it comes to a person, and one is so great and so wise, how could he contract his thoughts into a single letter of speech? Obviously, it's a tremendous, tremendous contraction. And it's not going to do justice to his widespread wisdom, but he has no choice. He's only given one word. Inezehu. Who? Inezehu tzimtzum atzum v'yirida gedela l'chachmasai hanifla. It's a stupendous contraction and a descent. It's going to obviously chisel away, take away most of his wisdom. He's only going to be able to come up with one word. Just like this is this tremendous, tremendous contraction. God has to take his infinite light and put it into words to create the world. It's like unbelievable. When did Hashem do this? During the 6 days of creation. Heaven and earth were made by the word of Hashem, and all their hosts by the breath of his mouth. By the letter Hey. So David took not just one word, but all of his glory and condensed it into one letter. Not only a single letter, but also an insubstantial one. It's written by the letter Hey. These are the chronicles of the heavens and earth, bihibara, meaning when they were created. By revocalizing the Hebrew letters of this word, our sages read it as if it were simultaneously pronounced Behebaram. The words in the pasuk it says Behebaram, and our sages break it apart, just like Bereshis Barashis. So Behebaram is Behebaram. With the Hey, he created. He created the entire universe. Imakar, remember a couple of days ago, the Hey, Yud, clear. You missed the day that says clearly it's the Hey, not the Yud. Imakar hates mamarais shenimshuchu mimaymerishim bereshis denami maimerhu. Do me a favor. When he comes back, remind me to tell him, or you'll tell him. Behei baram, behi baram, behei baram. No, it's created by the Yud. It's clear. Okay. So this letter Hey is the source of the 9 creative utterances which issue from the first utterance, Bereshis. Bereshis. What's Bereshis? Ibechinas Chachma Hanikra Reshis. It's identical with the sphere of Chachma, which is called Reshis. In the phrase Reshis Chachma, the beginning of wisdom. So the descent of Chachma, the source of the other 9 creative utterances, into Malchus, the lowest of the spheres, involves an intense, intense isn't even a good description, an intense degree of contraction. And this time, at the beginning of creation, this downward flow from Chachma to Malchus occurred without any effort of mankind whatsoever. As it is written, Ki Adam ayin lavard. There were no men to work to bring this down. We didn't exist yet. Raki chafetz chesed was because Hashem decided with kindness. Va'ilam chesed yibane. The world is built on kindness. Zehu bara'asam ba'avraham. And this is also the meaning, another interpretation, that we take the words behibaram and he created them, and we transpose these Hebrew letters, and our sages read this word as if it were simultaneously pronounced behibaram. We would say be'avraham, meaning through the attribute that Avram represented, which was what? Chesed, kindness. Ki chesed Avram, since Avram represents kindness, chesed, that's why the earth was created through the attribute of chesed, or vice versa. So the takeaway is Hashem presented a minute element of his being when creating the world, and his essence is greater than his product. Obviously, he had to do tremendous effort, isn't even scratching the surface, in any way, shape, or form. Nevertheless, Hashem wanted to create the world, so he went through all the hoops and leaps and bounds and everything else to create it out of his true kindness for his people, his children, in order that we may serve him. Have a wonderful Shabbos Kodesh, a wonderful Friday afternoon, and we'll see you, Mitzvah.